Imagine waking up one day fluent in a new language, being physically fit and confident in your skills. Sounds like a dream, right? Unfortunately, for most of us, it stays just a dream. And you are not alone. Over 88% of people fail to achieve their goals. Why? Not because they aren't smart enough or talented enough, but because they lack one simple thing: discipline. Now, I know you've heard this word 100 times. Discipline, discipline, discipline. But here's the truth. It's not just another motivational buzzword that we hear all the time. Discipline is doing something consistently even when you really don't want to do it. It's the fundamental key to long-term success. A couple of years ago, I was the kind of person who started things with excitement, but never really followed through. I would quit after a month. For example, I knew I needed Italian for my future, so I decided to start learning it. At first, I was making great progress. However, after a month, I got tired and stopped learning it. I wanted to go to the gym, but each time I found an excuse not to go. Like many people, I kept saying, I'll start next Monday, or maybe next Wednesday. And, as you might expect, I never really did. Because of all that, my parents would often tell me that I need to change that attitude, to be more hardworking, more consistent, and even more importantly, disciplined. And looking back now, I can honestly say they were completely right. However, after I came to Regents, I felt a deep responsibility on my shoulders to grow, to become better, to make my parents proud, and most importantly, to make myself proud. I pictured the kind of person I wanted to become in the future: confident, driven, and fulfilled. And then I asked myself, am I on path to becoming that person? I realized that nothing would ever change if I kept waiting for the right moment. So I started acting, improving every day through consistent actions I'd never taken before. Even when that voice in my mind whispered, I really don't want to do this, I still did it anyway. And no matter what, I stayed consistent. Once I made that shift in my life, things slowly started to change. Once again, I started learning Italian, dedicating daily time to small and varied tasks. Over time, my speaking, listening, and comprehension improved, and in 2 years, I could communicate with native speakers. For example, a month ago, I visited an Italian restaurant and decided to test my skills with the staff members. I was able to communicate with them smoothly, understand everything they said, and respond confidently. By the end, we even took some pictures together, which felt like a true milestone in my learning journey. I really miss him. Another example, a few years ago, my artistic skills were almost non-existent. I struggled to keep up in class. However, I committed to daily practice for my development, pushing my limits further and further. Over time, my skills and confidence grew significantly. Today, I'm proud to speak about art with much understanding and share my works with pride. It felt truly amazing when I began to see the changes in my art, especially when even strangers would comment on how much it had transformed. And that recognition was a true milestone, showing me how far I had come from when I first started. Success isn't found in grand moments. It's actually hidden in the small, repetitive actions we do every single day. That's what discipline really is. It's the key to making dreams come true. Without discipline, we just drift without making any progress. It's the commitment, even when we don't feel like it, that unlocks our full potential and makes us reach our goals. Think about it. Things that really matter in life and require time and energy, like learning a new language, reaching that physical form, or learning a new skill. They are not accomplished through a burst of energy. They are achieved when we choose to show up even when we don't want to, when we commit and do those small tasks that initially feel insignificant, but over time add up to one huge accomplishment. That's the key to real success, when we see the results of our efforts. So, after this day, I want you to think about your goals, what you truly want to achieve. Don't wait for the right moment or motivation. Start acting. Start by doing those first steps, and no matter what, continue doing them with consistency. And I promise you that after some time, you'll accomplish your goals. Discipline is what turns goals into progress, and progress into real change. That's the power of discipline. So, I want you to ask one more question. What is something you have always wanted to do, but never started? Is today going to be the day you finally take those first steps? Or is it just going to be another day where nothing changes? Thank you.